All right, today we are talking about a topic that we're actually experiencing a lot of right now, especially first-time home buyers or people trying to buy a house. But we're talking about getting a loan with a down payment assistance program or down payment assistance program, also known as a DPA. Will, you've been experiencing this a lot right now with clients that you're maybe got a down payment assistance over the last year or 2 years. We've actually had opportunities to lower their rates right now, and there's some hiccups along the way, some things that you can do and can't do. So maybe you can go over, explain a little bit about what the benefits are of getting a down payment assistance type of loan or into one of those programs. And by the way, there's a lot of those programs, so find out which one you're getting and where. But yeah, the pros of that, and you can also go over some of the cons of that, and then maybe wrap it all up into what you think, what you think people should do.
Yeah, I think that before I even dealt with them, it sounds nice, right? You hear people talk about what's this first time home buyer program? What's this helps me with my down payment? I don't have to make a down payment. Before knowing what they are, it sounds great. And as a loan officer, I think you would say, okay, this is another program that's going to help me get people into housing. Let me help people get the loan that they need to get the house. Let me get the deal. Like all those things come into mind when you're thinking about it. So, but I mean, obviously, what's the benefit, right? Let's go over that first. What people talk about online, or you see their little posts or videos.
Yeah, exactly. The pros.
Let's start with there.
Let's hear what's good about
Obviously,
it.
it's obvious, right? I mean, you don't have any money to put out as a down payment. You borrow money to get as the down payment to buy the home. So you don't have any money, you can use that. It's simple right there, right? That's a benefit. You can get into the house right now. That's how it's sold. What else? What else? You can add in closing costs. All those things can added in, right?
I think most down payment programs are coming from government grants, right? So the government or the bank or the financial institutions or whoever, somebody's offering free money basically to get what you just said, get the home covered, get the down payment covered and or closing costs covered, right?
But is it free?
You stole the words out of my mouth. I was going to say anything that's free has a price, right? So
Right. So yeah, that would be my first question as a home buyer is like, okay, why am I getting free money? Oh, the government wants to give me free money. Okay.
what's the catch?
Yeah,
What's the catch?
there's thousands of these programs, right? I mean, they're all a little different. They might be forgivable in 3 years if you don't do anything. They might be forgivable in 5, 7, 10 years if you don't touch the loan, if you don't refinance, if you don't sell the house, right? So those may be, good. What are some other benefits? I mean, honestly, other than that, I don't think I can say any more benefits to it because it's a higher interest rate, right? Than what your normal rate would be on the first lien. How I describe it to customers, I say it's a loan to get a loan. So why would you do that? I
Like
always
borrowing
discourage
more
it.
money on a credit card to go get another credit card, right?
Yeah, it bothers me almost, and I get it too, right? You're getting a free 20 grand or 30 grand to go put down and buy a house with all the closing costs and whatnot. But I discourage it if you are capable to do it without it. I fully recommend that portion or that way. So
Yeah, I mean, my take on that is like anything else. Like everything has a purpose, but know what you're getting into, right?
right,
Like adjustable loans, interest only loans. Back in the day, bad loans from the back in the day, the negative amortized loans had a purpose, but not for everybody. So down payment assistant loans, I think, can be good for some people, but you need to know what you're able to do, like knowing what the cons are. So you kind of mentioned one con right now, which getting a
right.
down payment assistant usually means you're actually paying a higher rate than industry standards for that down payment assistance mortgage, which, by the way, just so everybody knows, a down payment assistant program is usually in some way, shape, or form, you're getting a second mortgage on your house. That's what that is. It's another loan. That assistance goes into the second position. So your title has two loans on. So just so everybody's clear on that, now what happens with it is depending on the terms of that. But again, you mentioned one downfall of it, which is, like I said, higher rates than industry standards and or higher costs. Maybe you can expand on that, like maybe some other cons that you don't like about down payments or you think are a problem.
Oh, how much time do you have? You just brought up another point that as actually another con. Like we said, rate, right? I've been dealing with a ton of FHA borrowers that use the DPA to buy their house a year and a half, 2 years ago. Their first, the first mortgage or lien is 6.875, let's say. Their down payment assist is 8%. But the bigger thing on this whole thing is 95% of the people don't know what their rate is. They don't even know they have one. They don't even know that they have a second lien, like you just said, on the house. They literally just thought it was money that was given to them to help them buy the house. So, it's just a lot of weird stuff going on with that as far as knowledge about it, because the type of borrowers that use DPAs typically don't know what's going on with their mortgage and how much they're paying and how much they're overpaying for that second. So, that's another negative too. Is I just think it's overutilized to people that that don't understand it and don't. As far as some other negative points, we're looking to rates are lower right now than when people bought 2 years ago, so we're trying to do something called a streamline. But with that, we have these second liens that are associated to these government entities or banks or funds that they won't allow you to do anything with your mortgage. You're stuck with that second lien. They're in second position. They don't want to go back onto the second of a new loan. Sorry. You're stuck. Unless your equity level has gone up severely in that short period of time. That would be the only time that I think you could make a DPA work in your favor, is if you got it and 2 years later equity went up, 5-10%, and you could pack in costs later on in a new loan or something. That would be the only effective way I think you could utilize a down payment assist, which might have worked 3 years ago when the market was crazy and values were going up 20% in a year. So, but as of now, we're seeing the negative. People bought for $300,000. They borrowed $15,000 to buy the home as the down payment assist, so they owe $300,000 and they owe $15,000 as the second, and their house is worth $310 right now. So they're basically stuck. They're stuck. If rates go to 3% next year, they're stuck. They're stuck at that 8%. So
if rates go to 3% next year, I think we'll all figure out a way to get that back.
Exactly.
I wouldn't hold my breath for that.
Well, until their house value goes up to where they are able to do something different, they're pretty much stuck, because that second is not going anywhere. They can't do anything with the first, and they're handcuffed pretty much. So
yeah, that's how I was going to explain it basically, or what I was going to say is that it sounds like you get that money, you get that assistance, you pay a higher interest rate for it, but you might be stuck in it. You can't do anything. We were talking earlier, like some of the promissory notes that you've seen say you are not allowed to do it unless you do it with XYZ company, or you pay it off in full. And like you said, if you haven't got the equity, then you literally are stuck with. I take that back. You're never stuck, but you're in a position where you either have to pay a lot of money out of pocket to get rid of it, right, or have equity go up. It really, I think, are the two options, right? Like
you might as well put,
if I wanted to, but
you might as well have not done the down payment in general and just use that money to use as your down payment to buy the house instead of borrowing it at the beginning. So, you're taking a loan from a bookie, pretty much, a loan shark, to get into the house, and they have something over your head, basically, literally the roof, but it's a second lien over your head that prevents you from doing things. Think of it as you borrowed money from Johnny from down the street, and he's got, if you don't pay him back and timely, he's gonna, come over. So you're stuck essentially. Like I said, you can always get out of things, sell the house, pay off that second, but who has 20 grand sitting around to pay off? Otherwise you would have just had that to make the down payment purchase anyways. So,
yeah, like I said, I agree. I mean, and over my time, again, I'm with you on this. I've always advised against them for upwards of 90% of most clients. I think that you can actually, if you can strategically create a plan, and if it means you're not buying right now, maybe you're buying in 3 months or 6 months or whatever, but a plan to have a little skin in the game, because us as Americans in the U.S. are kind of spoiled, considering many other countries require you to have 30, 40, 50% down to buy anything. We're over here trying to get free houses, basically. So, but again, have a little plan. Put a plan together before you actually buy a house, and we'll do a little research, dig into it, give you our perspective, and also give you some facts about it as well. Hope this helps.
All right, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.